Welcome to part 12 of Angular from scratch. In this video, we'll continue working with data in Angular. And let's go back to the class file here. And I'm going to add another variable right under the name variable. I'm going to name this variable frontends. I have already prepared this variable, so let me just paste it in right here. And let's remove the white space to have everything nice and neat. I'm gonna lower the terminal size here so that I can nicely, well, actually, let's just close the terminal altogether. And now I can have a look at my frontends variable. So the frontends variable is an array which has objects inside of it, and then inside of those objects we've got nested objects and even another level of nesting with another nested object inside. So quite a complex structure, and I wanted to show you how to loop over this complex structure in the app components template file. So to do this, let's add a new table. And we're going to say table right here. And inside of the table, we're going to have table row. And we're going to have th. The first is going to be just a pound sign. So that's going to be our number. Basically, we're going to be numbering our rows. Then we're going to have a name. So we're just mapping over the structure that we had in the object over there, or actually in the frontends array. So now we got a type here. And finally, we've got the current version. All right, so that's for the first row. And the second tr is going to have 4 TDs. So we're going to have TD. Let's see if Emmet works. And it does. So we got 4 TDs. And we're just going to start mapping over this structure right here. So maybe at this point it kind of works for us to open another one right here by clicking this thing. And now I have my template file and my class file side by side, so it's easier to think about. I don't have to switch back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to start with another ngFor here. So I'm doing ngFor equals. And now I'm going to say let f of frontends. And I'm going to put a semicolon. And this is perfectly legal in Angular. You can add code like this. Let I equals index. So I'm declaring 2 variables now. The first one is the f for frontends, and the next one is I for the index. So here I'll do I plus 1, and then on the next one I'm going to do f.name, because basically I want to map over this entry in each item of the frontends array. Then inside of here, I'm going to do f.details. And obviously the details key has an object inside of it, so I can access it with another dot operator. And I'll say type. So I'm accessing the type on the details. And finally, in this fourth one, I'll do f.details .versions .current. So what I'm doing here is I'm accessing the f, so each individual object's details key, then the versions key, which is this one, and then finally the current version. Obviously, Angular is now at version 13 and the previous one was 12. And React's current version is 18, and let's say that the previous one was 17 to keep things simple. So let's now file save all, and this is working. And now we might just make our table look a bit nicer by updating the CSS of our app component CSS file. So let's open the sidebar with the Explorer right here, locate the CSS file, and let's just add this code right here. The indentation is a little bit messed up, so let's quickly fix it. Alright, so that should work. And we don't need to use a font family, so I'll just do this. File save all. And let's see how it works better. And maybe we can separate this table up on top from the one that says get random values right here, because they're really close. So I'm just going to say margin dash bottom 20 pixels. Save all again. And now they are clearly separated. All right, so everything works right here. Using the let I equals index, we do get the count of our table rows starting with a 0. That's why when we actually display the index, we increment it by 1 right here. And that's why we get the 1 as the first number, to make sure that we're getting the correct count, because humans are counting from 1 and computers are usually counting from a 0. And then we're accessing each individual property of the nested object by simply using the dot operator, such as fdetails versions current. That's it for this video, and in the next one we'll continue discussing working with data in Angular.